these animators are on shaky ground.
Yes, correct.
What happened with the actor strike? Did they settle that?
Disney's live-action remake of Snow White has become one of the biggest PR disasters for the company. The initial teaser, dropped in August 2024, was supposed to be a grand moment for Disney, a way to showcase the future of their live-action remakes. Instead, it turned into an epic failure. Within a matter of days, the teaser gathered nearly 1 million dislikes, breaking YouTube's record for the most disliked movie trailer. The second trailer, released shortly after, followed the same trajectory, attracting over 1 million dislikes across various platforms, including 720K on Disney's official YouTube channel. Fans were left furious, with many commenting on how Disney's attempt to update the classic Snow White had gone horribly wrong. The comment section reflected a shared sense of disbelief, with sarcastic remarks, poking fun at Disney's failure to create a trailer people would actually like. One user humorously remarked that they came to the video just because it had over 1 million dislikes, wanting to be part of that community. Another user, clearly disappointed, expressed that they were more entertained by the comment section than the actual trailer. These reactions speak volumes about the growing frustration among fans, many of whom feel that Disney is pushing woke agendas in an attempt to be more inclusive, but in doing so, they're alienating their core audience. Disney's mistakes seem to have piled up over the years. The casting choices. The decision to replace the iconic Seven Dwarfs with diverse magical creatures and a generally confusing creative direction has left fans wondering how Disney managed to get it so wrong. One of the most significant aspects of the backlash stems from the decision to replace the Seven Dwarfs with non-dwarf actors. Critics and actors with dwarfism expressed their anger, accusing Disney of using diversity as a buzzword without truly considering the impact on an already underrepresented group. Fans quickly called out Disney for pushing diversity at the expense of the original and beloved elements of the film. As Disney continues to navigate through this mess, it's becoming clear that the company is grappling with much more than a failed movie trailer. Snow White's remake represents a culmination of mistakes, from questionable casting choices to alienating decisions made in an attempt to cater to a changing cultural landscape. These moves could prove to be a significant turning point for Disney as they try to win back the trust of fans who have already turned their backs on the remake actors.
Actors, dwarf actors, that dream to be in a major motion picture such as this Disney remake. And now, because Peter Dinklage said what he said last year...
Rachel Zegler, who is cast as the titular Snow White, initially sparked interest, but her controversial comments and actions have significantly tarnished the project. The initial excitement around her casting has quickly turned into frustration in a now infamous interview. Zegler dismissed the 1937 classic Snow White as extremely dated and called its romance creepy and weird. For fans of the original, these remarks felt like a direct slap in the face. This iconic film has been beloved for generations, and many felt that Zegler's comments were disrespectful not only to the film, but also to the fans who held it dear. Instead of Disney stepping in to smooth things over and address the negative backlash, the company stood by Zegler. This only fueled the growing animosity towards the remake. Fans who had hoped for a respectful reimagining of the story were disappointed, and those who were fans of the original film felt like Disney was abandoning their legacy in favor of a more politically correct version. Zegler's comments didn't stop there. A 2022 interview resurfaced where she revealed that she had avoided watching the original animated Snow White for years because it scared her as a child. She also criticized the portrayal of women in the original film, claiming that the remake would focus more on justice than on the beauty of Snow White. This shift in the character's focus was meant to be a modern twist, but to many, it seemed more like an unnecessary jab at the original fans. They were puzzled at how someone who openly criticized the film could embody such an iconic character. Her remarks have drawn comparisons to Halle Bailey, who portrayed Ariel in Disney's live action. The Little Mermaid Bailey was praised for bringing her own unique spin to the role while respecting the original Zegler's portrayal. On the other hand, it has sparked questions about whether she is even capable of properly honoring such a cherished role given her dismissive attitude toward the film's legacy.
And if Disney wants to make more woke films that tank at the box office, they are more than welcome to do that, but maybe think of an original idea. Maybe not destroy a classic from my childhood and put an actress in there that not only hates the plot and
the growing outrage surrounding Rachel Zegler's casting and comments about Snow White has sparked an even deeper debate about Disney's approach to reimagining classic films. Zegler's continuous controversial remarks have contributed significantly to the backlash against the remake. Fans in particular are questioning how Disney could have selected an actress for such an iconic role when she clearly doesn't appreciate the original material. Zegler's repeated criticism of Snow White, combined with her refusal to embrace the charm of the original film, has turned her into a polarizing figure. One of the key issues with Zegler's casting is her apparent lack of respect for the source material. Her comments about how the film was extremely dated, and her statements about how the romance was creepy and weird only fueled the sense of betrayal felt by longtime fans. It's one thing for an actor to bring a fresh perspective to a character, but it's another thing entirely to openly dismiss the very film that made the character iconic in the first place. Fans can't help but wonder how Zegler, who had such a negative experience with the original, can do justice to the role of Snow White. Zegler's behavior has led to comparisons to H. Bailey, whose portrayal of Ariel in The Little Mermaid was seen as both respectful and innovative. Bailey managed to honor the original while still making the character her own, something Zegler has struggled to do with Snow White. Instead, Zegler has created an image of herself as someone who is dismissive of the legacy she's now a part of, and fans are left wondering if that's the kind of actor they want representing such a beloved character. Disney's decision to stand by Zegler has only deepened the rift between the company and its fanbase, while Zegler has become a figure of disdain for many. Disney's failure to manage the controversy surrounding her casting and comments has made matters worse. The Snow White remake, once seen as a potentially exciting reimagining, now feels like a project doomed to failure.
An interview clip that you read the quote from, but she's gone on to talk about this film numerous times, how she once thought Snow White was creepy, she doesn't like the prince, she thinks she should get paid more because she has to wear that dress, she should get paid for streaming for every hour.
Rachel Zegler's polarizing. The persona has only deepened the ongoing controversy surrounding the iconic Snow White remake. The actress's online presence has been marked by several incidents that have added fuel to the fire, including a particularly infamous Instagram post in a now-deleted story. Zegler expressed heartbreak over a fictional scenario in which Donald Trump defeated Kamala Harris in a presidential race, writing, "I hope Trump supporters and Trump himself never know peace." This bold and divisive statement sparked outrage, with many critics calling her comments unhinged. Zegler's remarks alienated a large portion of her fan base, leading some to label her a liability for Disney, but that wasn't the end of the drama. Zegler also found herself embroiled in controversy when she publicly criticized Elon Musk and urged fans to abandon Twitter, calling it Elon's app once again. Her comments sparked backlash, with critics accusing her of further distancing herself from audiences who might not share her political views in some eyes. Zegler's outspoken nature might be seen as a refreshing display of authenticity, but for many, it seems more like a liability when it comes to family-friendly content. Her outspoken opinions have earned her a reputation as one of Hollywood's most polarizing figures, and this has clearly affected the public's perception of her role as Snow White. Zegler's history of stirring the pot extends beyond politics. She has a track record of causing drama in less serious situations as well, such as her dramatic reading of Britney Spears' tweets during the singer's feud with her sister. Although Zegler likely thought she was being playful, fans of Britney found it distasteful, especially considering the gravity of the Free Britney movement. These incidents, along with her more public complaints, such as her frustration over not being invited to the Oscars despite starring in West Side Story, have painted her as a somewhat immature and unprofessional figure. As Zegler continues to stir up controversy, fans are left questioning if Disney can afford to continue backing her. The Snow White remake has already faced so many setbacks, and Zegler's behavior only adds to the chaos surrounding the project.
You don't have to disparage men in the process. You don't have to call Prince Charming a stalker. You don't have to say that you could just eliminate him from the whole movie. I mean, there is a space where you can have strong females and strong males. It's called the real world, or, at least.
Fallout from Rachel Zegler's casting and behavior continues to haunt Disney's Snow White remake, and now the company is facing even more difficulties in attempting to salvage the project. Despite the numerous controversies, Disney has stood by Zegler, but it's becoming clear that this may be a costly decision. Recently, Disney released a new trailer for the film, but it was pulled down shortly after due to an overwhelming negative response from fans. The constant stream of backlash has only deepened, and many are now questioning whether the film is beyond saving. Leaked set photos from 2022 didn't help matters.